Known throughout the provinces as a pestilent band of sticky-fingered rodents, the Thieves Guild is certainly one of the less liked organizations of Tamriel. Their underhanded and inherently shady nature has given the entire guild an untrustworthy reputation, for obvious reasons. In its early stages, the Thieves Guild overlooked no source of quick profit. They even resorted to things like prostitution if the coin was good enough, but surprisingly refused to go as far as to murder someone for money.
If you commit murder, you must pay the blood price to rejoin the guild.
The history of the guild is unclear, seeing as there are multiple branches in different provinces that have virtually no contact with one another. Each branch takes care of its own affairs and has its own rules which the members are expected to follow. This means there are major discrepancies in both notoriety and success from province to province, when some branches seem to have been inactive for years. One of the more notable, and begrudgingly respected, branches of the guild resided in the Lilac Bay region at the end of the Third Era, which any Daggerfall players might remember. They were wealthy, and thus had influence over the areas they inhabited, and even managed to beat out their only competition, the Wharf Rats. At this point, the guild was even viewed as sophisticated, and something to be both loved and feared. However, parallel to this great success, a separate branch in Morrowind was stricken with hardship. The Thieves Guild found in Morrowind could never be at peace. Fierce competition was around every corner in the form of other, more competitive guilds. Their most prominent opponents, the Kamana Tong, greatly hindered their success. The Kamana Tong was an organization in Vardenfell, which sought to rid their homeland of all outlanders, and only tolerated their presence as slaves. While this business didn't directly hurt the Thieves Guild, the Kamana Tong's powerful influence did. They were involved in the skooma trade, a popular Morrowind drug, and even held positions in higher councils, making it difficult for the guild to make their sneaky way around their territory. In addition, when it suited them, the Kamana Tong would rob the wealthy, thus leaving little for the Thieves Guild to pick up afterwards. As we approached the Fourth Era, the Morrowind branch of the guild was washed away completely by both the Kamana Tong and the Fighters Guild. This, however, was not the death of the guild, as a mysterious figure emerged in Cyrodiil, a man of myth, most would say, but the guild knew differently.
He is the king of thieves in Cyrodiil.
He's just a thief. He's a fairy tale.
He's that wanted criminal.
Blasted thief. I hope they string him up where they can catch him.
The Grey Fox, while most believed him to simply be a rumor, was the face of the guild. Ironically, that face was a mystery, as he always wore the Grey Cowl, an artifact from the Daedric god Nocturnal. It is rumored that the Grey Fox actually stole the cowl from Nocturnal, not that we should really be surprised. Many questions and mysteries shrouded the man, as he was never one to give out personal information. It is said that he led the guild for some 300 years, an astronomical number for a mere mortal Imperial, and thus some even believe him to be immortal. Led by the Grey Fox, the Cyrodiil Thieves Guild became a noted organization in which respect and loyalty were two rather large factors of success. They made it their mission to recruit those who had a talent for stealth and thievery, while all the while putting a damper on any who dare oppose them. For this, they were seen as both criminals and crime regulators. From our understanding, the Cyrodiil branch of the guild should still be going strong to this day, though little information leaks through the halls of the Ragged Flagon in Skyrim. The guild branch in the northern Tamrielic province had gone through some rather hard times when our player stumbles across it. Stationed in Riften, the guild sports far more violent rules and regulations. Known and looked down on by most, the Skyrim Thieves Guild has been known to turn to brawls and even murder if the job is right. What's funny is that it seems that the Cyrodiil and Skyrim branches of the guild have some sort of link, as members like Brynjolf and Mercer Frey often remark on the success of the Grey Fox. This is the only point in which any two Thieves Guild organizations ever cross over. Mercer even has a bust of the Grey Fox in his home. One might think that if the Grey Fox was truly so well known, more people in Skyrim would mention him, but only the Thieves Guild ever utters his name. Nonetheless, though their skill in the arts of stealth are still top-notch, it seems as though the guild is stricken with bad luck. Of course, with the Dragonborn's help, things are soon restored to their full potential, and a new and exciting opportunity arises. The followers of Nocturnal, the Nightingales, re-emerge from the shadows, but we already know all about that. What isn't so popularly known is the fact that Baron Zaya, Dunmer Queen, belonged to the Skyrim Thieves Guild. Now to learn her story, we need to go back in time a bit, so stay with me here. Baron Zaya was born late in the Second Era to the Lord and Lady of Mournhold in Morrowind. However, Tiber Septim banished her and her family after he came into power of the province. Accepting her fate, the 16-year-old Baron Zaya ran off to Whiterun with a Nordic boy named Straw, who was madly in love with her. Their relationship could never last, however, as Baron Zaya grew restless. Poor judgment, misguided decisions, and one regretful night with a Khajiit lover by the name of Theris eventually had Baron Zaya captured by Emperor Tiber Septim's friend and general, Symmachus, who brought Baron Zaya to the imperial city. No longer interested in the affairs of Morrowind, Tiber allowed Baron Zaya to be appointed to her rightful place as Queen of Mournhold, though she remained in Cyrodiil. General Symmachus, also a dark elf, eventually returned to Morrowind and left the Emperor and Baron Zaya to their own devices. Tiber Septim himself was stricken with Baron Zaya's beauty, and the two had an affair. Baron Zaya soon became pregnant with the Emperor's child, which he ordered be aborted. Baron Zaya was sent back to Morrowind, eventually to marry General Symmachus. This girl just can't keep her legs closed. Apparently in love, they and their two children lived the life of royals until the general was defeated in a rebellion against Mournhold. So that's Baron Zaya's story. But the strange fact of the matter is that she would have never become queen had she not joined the Thieves Guild. I talked previously of a Khajiit named Theris who Baron Zaya slept with. Well, he was a member of the Skyrim Thieves Guild, who would eventually teach her all she needed to know about the guild. Straw, Baron Zaya's Nordic lover, was still in love with her, however, and thus was eager to help as a lookout when Theris and Baron Zaya were performing a high-risk heist. What they didn't know was that Theris was planning on betraying Baron Zaya, and he did so by pushing her into the guards of the estate they were robbing. While his plan succeeded, it also resulted in his own capture. And the estate's owner? Symmachus, the Emperor's general and later Baron Zaya's husband. How's that for twisted fate? The Thieves Guild can certainly change lives, for better and worse. That's why Baron Zaya's crown in Skyrim is such a sought-after artifact for the Thieves Guild. She is truly part of their history. I guess overall, it's an incredible organization, stretched throughout all of Tamriel, and who knows, perhaps in other countries as well. The history is exciting, the rumors even more so, and it can only continue in more games to come.